Hey guys, I'm Dalton from Zebco, and now I'm going to show you how to assemble and use your Zebco 33 custom Spincast combo. After removing your rod and reel from the package, your first step is going to be applying the reel to the rod. To do that, we're going to unscrew the reel seat, and then we're going to lock our reel back down on the rod. Your next step will be to extend the telescoping piece of the rod. Our third step will be to assemble the two-piece part of the rod, and we want to make sure that all our guides are straight and even. The next step is going to be to line our rod. To do that, we're going to push our push button. We're going to cut our tag piece off right here, and then we're going to run our line straight through the guides. First, we're going to show you how to rig the squadron head with the Rage Swimmer. You're going to take your squadron head in one hand, your line in your other. You're going to put your line through the eye. Once you have your line through the eye of your hook, you're going to make a loop, and then you're going to wrap it 5 times. Then you're going to keep your loop out, pull back through the loop, and go right back through it. You're going to wet your knot and pull it down tight. You're going to cut your tag in relatively close, and now you're ready to rig your Rage Swimmer. To rig your Rage Swimmer, I always start with a squadron head in my hand and then the head of the Rage Swimmer in my other hand, and we're just going to rig it as straight as possible. The key part to getting this bait to swim correct is rigging it straight. One thing to assure that it's straight is to look through the slit in the back of the Rage Swimmer and make sure your hook's coming out evenly in the slit. Now that we're all rigged up, we got our Strike King squadron head on with our Rage Swimmer on it. We're going to go through some steps of how to cast and retrieve this bait. To start off, we're going to show you how to cast. It's a pretty simple technique. We're going to push the button, engage the spool, and then bring it right over our shoulder and release the button while we downswing. On this particular bait, the Strike King Rage Swimmer, we're going to have a nice steady retrieve. The slower you reel it, the deeper it's going to get in the water column. The lower you have your rod tip, the deeper it'll get in the water column. The faster you reel it, the higher it'll stay in the water, or you can keep your rod tip up, or a little bit of both. You just want this on a nice and steady retrieve, and it's a proven fish catcher. Next, we're going to show you how to Texas rig the Strike King shimmy stick. To do that, you're going to grab your EWG hook and your line, and we're going to tie another clinch knot. We're going to go right through the eye of the hook, pull your tag in through, make a loop. We're going to wrap it 5 times, come right back through your loop, and then come right back through it again. We're going to wet the knot. We're going to pull it down until it's snug, and we're going to cut our tag in. Next, we're going to take our Strike King shimmy stick, and this is what's called a Texas rig. You're going to take your EWG hook from the eye, and you're going to take your Strike King shimmy stick from the top. You're going to insert about 1/8 of an inch. You're going to slide your shimmy stick all the way to the top, and then this is what is called Texas rigging. We're going to go all the way through the worm, and we're going to just tuck it right back inside the worm just to keep it weedless. And that's your Strike King shimmy stick Texas rig. Now we have our Strike King shimmy stick Texas rig, and we're going to show you how to retrieve it. So we're going to push the button, engage the spool, and then bring it right over our shoulder and release the button while we downswing it. For this specific technique, we're going to let the bait sink all the way to the bottom. So you're going to let it fall on slack line. You want to watch your line, and if your line moves or anything like that, 90% of the times it usually means you have a fish. So then we're just going to reel up our slack and see if one's there. We're going to pull our rod tip up just to double check. We're going to keep doing this all the way back to you. Next, we're going to show you how to wacky rig the Strike King shimmy stick. And to start off, we're going to grab our wacky worm hook. We're going to take our tag in line, and we're going to run it through the eye of the hook. We're still going to tie the clinch knot. We're going to make a loop. We're going to wrap it 5 times. We're going to come right back through your loop. You're going to double it again, come right back through the other side of the loop. We're going to pull it down, wet it, and let it pull tight to the hook. From there, we're going to trim our tag in. Then we're going to take our Strike King shimmy stick, and we're going to hook this thing in what we would call the egg sac of the bait, which is basically the dead middle. We're just going to hook it straight through the middle of the bait, pull your hook all the way through it, and it's going to look like this. This is your Strike King shimmy stick, wacky rigged. Now we're going to show you how to cast and retrieve the Strike King shimmy stick, wacky rig. We're going to push the button in, we're going to bring the rod straight back over our shoulder and release it on our downswing. Once the bait hits the water, we're going to engage our handle so that no more line can come out. We're going to let this bait fall on slack line, and we're going to constantly watch our line while it's sinking. If your line moves at all, you probably have a bite. We're going to check this by raising our rod tip up nice and slow, and a nice slow retrieve all the way back to you. To learn more about this combo and other Zebco products, visit zebco.com/academy.